It's 3 a.m. You have to be up for work in 5 hours. You've been scrolling relentlessly through TikTok. You're exhausted, but you don't even know why you keep scrolling. You're like an addict, like an alcoholic with another drink, or a smoker frantically looking for a lighter. How did you get here? What mistakes have you made up until this point to be 6 hours deep in a TikTok binge where you couldn't explain 3 of the 3,000 videos you have seen today? How did your attention span shrink so small that you can't watch content longer than 10 seconds anymore? Let's figure out what broke your brain. Launched in 2016 by the Chinese company ByteDance, TikTok was a simple concept: show rapid-fire, short-form videos from funny to interesting. But that's not where the story begins. The real story begins with another app with a similar format, Vine. Vine was the precursor to TikTok, but far less successful. The ultimate failure of Vine came down to the fact that it simply wasn't addictive enough. The interface doesn't pull you in the same way that TikTok does. Vine was too closely similar to Instagram at the time, and it needed to get further away from that and take advantage of the entire screen real estate and the fact that they are short-form addictive content. You need to always have it be scrolling. It was not nearly as seamless to create videos on Vine as it is on TikTok today. And this is one of my biggest gripes with TikTok, is that content that takes 5 seconds to produce is not art. It's content. Real art is transformative. Real art is beauty. Real art takes months, weeks, or even years to create. The videos created on TikTok are just simply content. They are not art. Real art speaks for itself. It speaks to a part in our soul. Real art is beauty. Real art is truth. Content on TikTok is none of these things. Content on TikTok is a waste of time. And also, the monetization for the creators wasn't there. There was no real way to make money other than moving to a different platform, using Vine as a jumping off point to get to YouTube and make money there. TikTok is similar, but they do have monetization. It's not excellent monetization, but it's monetization nonetheless. It's a hard app to monetize. The idea being that content is so short and rapid fire, no one is going to want to stop and watch an ad for 30 seconds. At the end of the day, Vine showed that this format can work. There was an audience. There was a growing audience of young people. I know I myself had it back in 2013, 2014, 2015. At the time, I was less than 20 years old, but it was something that I used every single day. I loved watching Vine, and that's why I didn't never download TikTok, because I know how addicted I was to Vine. So Vine showed that there was an audience for short-form, rapid-fire content. It just needed to be done in a more effective way with more financial backing. And the culture needed to be primed in the way that it is now, where every kid has a cell phone. Everybody's attention span has been significantly reduced. The culture has been primed for TikTok to take off, and it's no wonder that it has. In 2013, there were only 1.4 billion smartphone users in the world. Fast forward to 2022, and the amount of smartphone users has surpassed 5 billion people, with the average age of a smartphone user decreasing year over year, with over half of all kids owning a smartphone by the age of 7. The previous generation before mine was considered the latchkey generation, which basically means that their parents both worked, so they let themselves into their homes and waited for both their parents to get home. So they sort of raised themselves after school for a couple of hours. This new generation should just be called the screen time generation, because they aren't being raised by anybody. They're just being raised by screens and a bunch of strangers on the internet. They are who's raising your kids. I know we've all seen it at the grocery store. You see a kid that's 2-3 years old with an iPad that's nicer than your phone, and he's sitting in the cart just staring, watching something, or playing a game, totally engrossed in that, and the parent couldn't be bothered because he or she is playing on their smartphone, and you can tell that their relationship just isn't there. And I know it can be tough sometimes. As a parent myself, I know it can be hard sometimes. Your child can be difficult, but popping a screen in front of them is just not the answer. My wife and I do everything we can to reduce our own screen usage, and our kids won't have cell phones. I don't know when the age is when they'll have cell phones, but under my roof, they'll probably be 17, 18 years old by the time they even consider getting one. I don't even know if I'd pay for it, though. That's something I need to think about. I have several years yet, but gosh, I just don't know how these parents can just give their kids up to the culture and say, well, hopefully you find good content, not bad content. Good luck. The guy who invented the iPad, Steve Jobs, didn't even let his own children use it, and that was back when apps weren't programmed and developed to be addictive. They didn't spend millions of dollars on R&D to make them as addictive as possible. now they are. So if that wasn't a sign back then, it's a sign now. Take them away from your kids, take them away from yourself. Or if you are a kid, I don't know why you're watching this video, but turn it off and tell your parents to take this stuff from you. I know it's hard. It's like telling an addict to take away my drugs, but it's what you have to do to live a better life. This behavior is exactly what primed a generation of children to have the attention span of goldfish, and what caused the meteoric growth of TikTok. And obviously, most kids already have the attention span of goldfish, but when you can feed into the rapid-fire, quick succession content that TikTok provides, it is perfect for children. TikTok is now the #1 most used social media platform, beating out YouTube by just a hair, with that number more than likely only to get larger and larger in the next couple of years. We have an entire society that has grown so dependent on smartphones, that has become so polarized, that our ability to think and challenge the status quo has been stripped from us. This culture no longer has to deal with silence. Silence is a thing of the past. There is very, very small portions of your life where you have to deal with silence. It's normally right before bed, right after you turn your phone off after scrolling for 2 hours and you roll over to fall asleep. Those are the only moments, the tiny little moments when you could fall asleep without any noise. And a lot of people have their phones right next to their face playing a video while they're trying to go to sleep. Most people don't deal with silence almost ever throughout the day. They're always watching, they're always listening to something. I know I can be guilty of this too, but the current culture promotes this lack of silence, and I promise you, you need to find silence. You need to find time throughout the day to just be quiet. I personally don't meditate. I know some people like that. I'm not into that, but you have to find some time throughout the day to just find some silence. Sit down and just no phone, no podcast, no video, no music, just silence. We are never left alone to figure out the world for ourselves. We are spoon-fed everything by algorithms. The algorithms have become so advanced that the original creators don't even really understand how they work, and they can be manipulated by people who may not have your best intentions at heart. Think to yourself when the last time you had pure silence was, not including when you were sleeping. Just pure silence. No phone, no scrolling, no nothing. Have you taken the time to challenge the way you think about the world, or is everything that you think something that somebody else told you? Not an idea that you had by yourself, but an idea somebody told you is the truth. TikTok has given people a reason to never think for themselves, to never have a challenging thought that they might actually have to work through, because the algorithm will just tell them what to think. And instead of some idiot on TikTok or YouTube telling you what to think, an idiot with no hair is going to tell you what to think now. I think you should delete TikTok. I say this in almost every video. Delete TikTok, delete YouTube, reduce your screen time by an hour or 2 hours. Go for a run during that time. Go for a walk during that time. Go outside, spend time with friends and family, play a board game. Do something where it doesn't revolve around a screen. I implore you to do it. I know I'm right. I really do know I'm right. So I feel very confident in saying, get off the screens. Stop spending so much time on it. Spend time with family. If you don't have a family, start one of your own. That's the great thing about being a human, is you can marry, in my case, a woman, and you can start a family of your own, and you can have people that have to hang out with you because they love you. That's what I do. My wife and child, they have to hang out with me because I'm stuck in the same house with them. So I promise you, you'll live a better life. Get married, find somebody with the same values as you. Make sure your values are your own values and they're not somebody else's that you've been told on TikTok or YouTube. Make sure that they're your own values. And I promise you, starting a family, having kids is the most rewarding experience you could possibly imagine. And I promise you, it's not as expensive as everybody says it is. And if it is expensive, get a second job because it's your child and you do anything for your kid. I know I do anything for mine, and however many I get to have is how many I get to have. I am willing to sacrifice anything for my child and my wife, and I think that you should be willing to do the same thing as well. So thank you guys for watching the video. I will see you guys in the next one. In the meantime, go delete TikTok, and if you do delete TikTok, a bird will fly from the sky and come down and give you a hug or something like that, because I sent it, because I'm proud of you for deleting TikTok. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one, and Twitter too, and Facebook. Honestly, YouTube. Delete them all and just take a break. I promise you'll thank me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.